Welcome to the Lead Generation Strategies podcast. I'm your host, Joey Myers. This podcast is brought to you by leadgenerationseoservices.com, and that is with an S at the end of services, and Infuego Media. We get companies more customers, clients, or patients by creating branded multimedia content using a mix of AI or artificial intelligence, software automation, and fantastic writers. Then we distribute that content to over 400 partnership sites. A couple hundred of those are media sites like Fox, ABC, NBC, affiliates. Traffic and rankings can be seen within 48 hours after publishing. So I want to today, and I'm going to attempt her name. I want to welcome Irina. And so last name, I'm going to attempt this, and you're going to have to correct me, I'm sure, but I do want to attempt this. Poddubnaia. Was that it?
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
So is it good? So what was it really?
Poddubnaia. So it's just like with ooh.
Gotcha.
Poddubnaia. Yeah.
Gotcha. So let me get back to so she's promoting a SaaS company. It's SaaS, right? Software as a software as a solution company, and that's called TrackMage. TrackMage or TrackMage?
TrackMage.
TrackMage.
You're correct.
Yep. And then imagine, so kind of the tagline for it is imagine real-time tracking of all your global shipments, then think bigger. That's TrackMage. So first of all, Irina, thank you for coming on and welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me here. Really excited to get it going.
Yeah, very cool. So give the people what TrackMage is, just kind of in a couple sentences or whatever. For those now, this show, before you say that, this show is more geared towards Irina being an expert in e-commerce, having an app or a software as a solution for e-commerce businesses that do track, have physical products and need to, their customers need to track those products. But give people in a couple sentences, Irina, what you guys do over there at TrackMage.
Okay. So the best way to explain what we do is just by remembering what you already have experienced. So when you order a product on Amazon, for example, remember how they are sending you all the notifications about like when the product is getting there, when you are going to see the notifications about when it actually starts shipping. And after that, you receive a message from Amazon to leave a review in the end of the process when you actually get the product. So we take this functionality, not literally, but just literally, we do take functionality and make it available on other platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, ClickFunnels, and other independent, funnel builders. So what we do is we help e-commerce companies with creating the best post-purchase experience. So everything that happens after the buy button. And make sure that the customers, they are not only customers one time, but customers for life after that. So that's what we do.
Very cool. Thank you for keeping that nice and succinct. And on your guys' website, so that's TrackMage, and that's track like you track a package, MAGE.com. And they break it down pretty well here in like, I think 7 or 8 steps. So taking us through that process where you validate the new customer's email address, which is pretty good because you got a customer that puts in a wrong email address and you can't track. And then you track the shipment. Step 3 is upsell customers, which I really like. Upsell customers on your tracking page. So talk a little bit about how a company would do that, which is, people understand upsells, and that's a great spot, right?
Yeah. So what we discovered is that customers, when they are waiting for the product, they are anxious and they are usually checking their notifications all the time, and they're literally they're looking for something to do. So what we do, we capitalize on this interest. So when the emails are going out, so TrackMage sends emails about the shipment status when it changes. When the emails are getting to those customers, they don't treat them as marketing emails, and they open them in 60% of cases. That's a very high open rate for those emails. So what else we noticed is that once a person gets their tracking link, they check that link 1 or 2 times per day. When they're actually actively waiting for the order. Mm-hmm. And during that time, they engage with the brand. So instead of wasting all the traffic on DHL, FedEx, or whichever carrier the company is using, you are getting those customers back to the store. You're showing them your brand and you're showing them your products. That's what big platforms like Amazon or eBay, they do great. So when they bring customer back with a order update, they usually sell them additional products. But what is good about TrackMage is when you install it on your store, you show only your products, no competitor products, no nothing that's going to distract them. You just show them your products. And we've seen that the average conversion from the shipment volume that's coming is from 5 to 10% extra sales without anything, like any additional marketing resources. So people, when they're waiting for the order, they see the products and they purchase without even getting their first package. So that's what tends to happen. And that's how we do upsells. Yeah.
Right. Now, Irina, when you're showing those products, those upsells, or is that something that the company, the e-commerce company, they put in manually or does it take from a related products, like the person, it takes what the person bought and then it shows them related products automatically? Or is that something the e-commerce company would have to put in, like, hey, let's show these type of products for anybody that is looking at that email?
So we do it 3 ways even. So the company can put it in manually if they don't have any any product feeds configured for their stores. If they do have a product feeds, we have a native support for Shopify feed with Atom. I mean, this is the format of how the products are stored. And we also have support for Facebook feed. For example, if you're creating some carousel ads or some other ads that get the feed from the store, you can literally just use the same feed on your tracking page. And every time you update the collection or those products that you put in the feed, they are going to be reflected in real time on your tracking page. And this is how we are currently supporting it. We have some plans to introduce some AI and some intelligence based on what the customer actually bought. But so far, we have a functionality to just put the products that you want to put there as featured, or put some product feeds and update them in real time. So every time you update it on your store, it updates on the tracking page as well, without you having to do anything manually.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And I probably should ask this question before we got to that one. But some of the platforms that you guys are supported on. So you mentioned Shopify. What other kind of main e-commerce platforms is the app supported on?
Currently, we have 2 direct integrations with Shopify and WooCommerce, and we have integration with Zapier. So with Zapier, you can connect to all other apps, not even e-commerce apps. And we have certain customers that use us just specifically because we support Zapier. So you can connect it to ClickFunnels, for example, through Zapier, or to Slack through Zapier. And you can get shipment notifications in your Slack channel just to inform your team. So that's what we currently have. And we are working on more integrations coming. So we are working on Magento, BigCommerce, Equid, all of those platforms. And this is yet to come.
Yep. Very cool. Yeah. Rolling it out as you guys are going. How long has the company, the SaaS software, been around?
We've been around for 4.5 years by now, and we're still working. So the majority of time that we spent was spent on integrating with carriers. So we support over 1,000 carrier companies, and all those tracking updates. We update our tracking system frequently, so that we do maintain the frequency. So. Too many frequencies in one sentence. So what I meant to say is that we were perfecting our shipment tracking functionality and our tracking pages with responsiveness, design, everything. And that's why we didn't have that many integrations. But what we do have is a very much magical integration with Shopify, where you install the app, and it customizes the tracking page based on the look and feel of the store automatically. So you don't even have to do anything. You just click, configure, install, that's it. Mm-hmm. And that's how it works.
And I think aren't majority e-commerce on Shopify anyway? What's the percentage? Do you know that?
Well, the industry statistics is unreliable because the majority of e-commerce would be on Amazon. But
Right.
Amazon
That's true.
is platform. It's
Yep.
not an
Yep.
independent store creation platform. So I guess when it comes to independent e-commerce, probably Shopify is one of the leaders in that regard.
And higher in, if this is be for like those that are thinking about, beginning off, that kind of thing. And I've tried a couple. We have a dropship site, and that's what leads me to my next question. So I run a dropship site on the startinglineup.store.com, and it just basically features baseball and softball hitting products that are hand selected that we use with our own hitters, right? And so it's all dropship. And is this something that even a drop shipper could use? Because I know there's a lot of print on demands. There's a lot of drop ship type e-commerce stores out there. Does TrackMage work with that?
Well, actually, TrackMage was developed with dropshippers in mind. Our first customer was a dropshipper with who was shipping, funnily enough, drones, but they use the design
which is kind of on your website. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, they were dealing with a lot of refunds and chargebacks that were coming during the long shipping times. And that's why they needed a solution to keep customers entertained, or at least specified somewhat while we're waiting for the order. With dropshipping, what other functionality we have some functionality to track if your supplier actually shipped the product. So we have the counters called days in idle that starts counting from the day you create a shipment to the day when you actually get shipment tracking information. Because sometimes when you are buying products from such suppliers like AliExpress, the supplier can provide you a tracking number, and then the tracking number doesn't have any shipment information ever. And that's when you need to raise a red flag and refund it on AliExpress and then buy it from a different supplier. But to do it properly and to do it timely, you need to do it before your customer actually starts knocking at your door asking, where is my order? Because that usually happens in 2 weeks when the order should have already arrived. And you just don't have enough time to buy it again from a different supplier and orchestrate all that. So if you just keep track of all the shipments that are overdue, maybe like 3 days or 5 days, and then you just take proactive action, you will see probably like 0 refunds in that case. Because if you just take the proactive action, and even if you just follow up with the customer and say like, oh yeah, there was a delay in our warehouse, sorry, and you're literally buying from a different supplier, like you have to know about that.
Right.
But the thing is, you can take proactive action, you can take it under control, you see it in one dashboard, you can see it like all the shipments. And also, if you are not only just doing drop shipping, but you also sell from your own premises, you can have multiple workspaces for each premise. So you can have like one for your warehouse, one for drop shipping supplier, one for another store with a different brand, and you just have them in one single interface where you see the entire thing. And you don't have to guess like where the package was and where it is right now.
Very cool. Yeah, so all in one dashboard makes it a lot easier for you. In the case of a drop ship where you have the suppliers maybe taking a little bit longer, or is the system sending, say me being the drop shipper, is that sending me an email, like an email notification saying, hey, it's been 3 days or it's been 5 days, we haven't gotten a tracking information? Is it sending you an email? How's it notifying me as the drop shipper to either reach out to the customer or reach out to the supplier to see what's going on?
Yeah, well, actually, that feature is still in the works because that has been on the backlog for a long time, but never surfaced to the very top. But definitely, that can be considered a feature request now. So yes, we do send notifications, just not about that specific thing. But yes, we will implement it in the very near future.
So it's more like the dashboard.
How it works, yes. Right now, how it works is you can just go to your shipments and then filter the shipments that have the days in idle over a certain threshold. So you can just see literally like all those shipments that have overdue delivery or overdue even shipping from the premises, because sometimes, like I said, when they say that they shipped, it doesn't mean they shipped. So if you don't see any tracking information, that's the time to take action and reach out to the supplier, ask them if there is a problem, or if they provided an incorrect tracking number in the first place, which is always which is also a frequent case. Yeah. So
very cool. So it's all from the dashboard. So that makes sense. You go to the dashboard, you can filter all that through that. I love that. The other thing I really like, and you said post add, or not add to cart, I think more checkout, right? More at this handles everything post checkout. The other thing it helps do is automates the reviews. So talk a little bit about how it does that.
All right. So what we noticed on the market is that all the typical automation is configured based on the timing. So let's say our customer bought a product, and then in 2 weeks, we send them an email asking for a review. Literally today, I received an email asking me for a review for a product that I haven't received. So that's what frequently happens with autoresponders. You cannot control if the package was actually received by the customer. But this is very different with TrackMage. With the TrackMage, when the package actually transitions to delivered status, the very moment it does, we send them a notification about, please leave a review. The wording is a little bit different, like how did it go? Is everything well? Did everything go well? And then people will leave a review. And that review, it actually stays inside of TrackMage. So it doesn't leak to social media. It doesn't get posted on your product page immediately. If a review is positive, you can showcase it on your website. You can import it to the product pages. But if a review is negative, you can just address the problems quietly with the customer and maybe offer them some discounts, apologies, or whatever is needed, just to make sure that the customer is satisfied in the end. So this is how TrackMage can stop those negative reviews from leaking to the social media. But with the positive reviews, we're working on some killer feature that's, again, not yet released, but I know that it's coming. So after the review is left by the customer, and if it's positive, or like 4 stars, 5 stars, we are prompting them to share that review on social media. And especially it's going to be very fun to see, because we are going to support pictures and videos as part of a review. So they can just share that rich media on TikTok or some other platforms, like, I don't know, like maybe Instagram. And then this is already additional source of leads and traffic to the store, because customers, when they have a good experience and they leave a good review, they are already positive. So why not share? That's the point. That this entire thing, like this entire circle of like post-purchase experience and making customers for life, this is where it comes full circle. So then they attract additional buyers to the same product they already bought.
And like you said, most of those touch points are in good warm times, right? Like whether it's an upsell being featured in an email for shipping notification, they're checking that email, like you said, 60% open rates or more, probably I would see, and then you're showcasing a product, or if it's the review, it's right there. I mean, they're hot, they're ready to go. And in the future, when you guys get that to where they can automatically share, that just makes things a lot better. And instead of it just kind of sitting there for a little bit and then posting it or asking them for a video or image, that'll be really nice feature. Now I know there's some I've gone through plenty of different apps on Shopify trying to find, back in the day when I was setting everything up, and you put in shipping, you search in the app store, right? Shipping something or other, and you get all the different apps and you can go through them. So what makes you guys different than some of the other shipping type apps that are showing up in Shopify Marketplace?
Well, I believe what makes us different is the approach that we took. So this is a standalone solution. Like it's not just bound to Shopify. So it can be used across all platforms. And I've seen a lot of Frankenstein setups where people are using some uncanny systems besides Shopify. And Shopify is just like the shopping cart that they're using. And they have like ClickFunnels, whatever else, as part of their setup. So TrackMage is the central hub that can bridge the gap between all those systems. And especially if you're using not only Shopify, but also some CRM systems or some systems that all-in-one type with the tasks and automations, like Entreport, for example. So that's where TrackMage is really standing out from the competition, because we do have a lot of capabilities to create some custom integrations. Because of Zapier, because of Integrately, that's another app that allows you to integrate. And also we have API where you can just literally experiment. Oh, and another thing that I forgot to mention, I always forget to mention that because it's very technical. We do have widgets. So if you want, that tracking page doesn't have to be used as a whole. You can take parts and bits and pieces and put it everywhere in your store where you want it to. On the thank you page, on the featured page, wherever you want. And those widgets that make it it's almost like Lego. You put that block wherever you want it, and then it works, and you don't have to worry about it. So that's how we stand out, because we come from IT background with also the personal story of going to China and figuring it out hands-on. But the idea is we do know how to build software, and that's why we built it in the most flexible way. How you can just customize everything that you want, and there are a lot of options that other apps they don't really provide. Other apps usually they were created for Shopify. They only work with Shopify, and that's what they're good at. But with TrackMage, we are externally focused, so you can just use it as a data hub where you see all the data with all the shipment updates and all the notifications that are going to customers. But then again, you're not bound to Shopify. You can use whichever system you want.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, great. That's a great answer for that on because when I go in as a drop shipper e-commerce store, and you just don't know what you're going to get when you get in there. And a lot of times you just rely on the reviews and looking through reviews and seeing what other people are saying about the app and things. And sometimes apps will leave. So like if you decide, hey, I don't want to do this app, and you delete it, then it'll leave a lot of code on, junky code on your site, which will slow your site down. And so, it's nice to have something that is, like you said, you can piece by piece it, you can widget it, you can use it in different, like your CRM, you can use it in all different places. Before we go into where people can find you, get more information, I wanted to ask you, so of all the different new innovations that you guys are doing with TrackMage, what's the top or the top two that you have coming up on the horizon that you're getting ready to, as a functionality of the app that you really like, that you're excited about?
Yeah, well, I already spoiled the surprise about sharing reviews at the end of the customer journey. So this one is coming, definitely. Well, we're updating the interface, but that's nothing new. It's just going to become more straightforward and easy to use. So right now, like the fulfillment functionality, it's not that straightforward to use. So that's why we're improving. And probably the next best feature that's going to come is more B2B focused. It's for people to create their own carriers. So if you want to ship the package through your own logistic channels, or you're probably sending it by your own means, you can also create your own carrier that's going to be available only inside of your team. So it's not going to be publicly available, like not on our list of carriers. You need to be more reputable than that just to get on the list. But the idea is that some of those smaller companies that are just starting and they cannot afford to create like the entire UPS or FedEx-like infrastructure, they are going to be able to use TrackMage as the starting ground, where they are going to just create their own package numbers and track it inside of their own workspaces. So that's what's coming. Yeah.
Very cool. Lots of cool stuff. And I'm sure you could keep listing off things. Sounds like you guys are really working hard back there behind the scenes with different things. Very cool. So let people know where they can find you. I know you had a free report that you wanted to talk about, so go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, there is a free guide actually. It's how to get extra sales from existing customers without spending more money on ads and hiring more staff. This is the report that we have. You can find it on trackmage.com/flywheel-extra-sales. And I hope this is going to be included in the show
And I'll
notes.
link that. I'll link that.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. So yeah, what you're going to find there is how do you retain customers, how do you delight customers, and how do you get extra sales from those customers. That's what you're going to find there.
Very cool. And then on any of the socials that you guys are on, or that you're on?
Well, we're present on pretty much all the social media, so you can find TrackMage and like LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, wherever you want.
Very cool. And I'll link to all those too in the show notes. Yeah, very cool. Right. All right. So let me do a little in conclusion here. So if you like this podcast episode, then please like, review, and/or share it. We really appreciate the feedback. If you're interested in hearing more about our branded multimedia marketing events, then please visit leadgenerationseoservices.com. Again, an S at the end of services, and click on the marketing events link to watch a 3 to 4 minute video overview. So Irina, her SaaS company is TrackMage. Their tagline again was imagine real-time tracking of all your global shipments, but then think bigger. As you've heard today, that's TrackMage. So she's given away, she mentioned a free ebook today, and that is the title of that, how to make 5 to 10% extra sales on autopilot without increasing your ad spend or hiring more staff. And I will link to that in the show notes. So thank you for joining us here today, Irina.
Thank you very much.
All right, hold on.